Hi, my name's EB, founder of Smart with Money Planning. Today we're going to talk about winning the interest game. What is the interest game? So, the interest game is debt versus interest income or interest appreciation. My right hand, which probably looks like the left hand on this video, is interest income appreciation, right? Now, why do I say appreciation slash income? It's if you don't take the interest out, if you leave it in there, then it's not necessarily income, right? If you take it out, then it becomes income, such as a dividend. So debt that you owe, we'll call that credit card debt, payday loan, God forbid, title loan, even worse, um, personal loan. Those kind of debt, you're losing the interest. So this hand with this wristband on, that signifies losing the interest game. This is winning the interest game. You win by making more interest than you pay out, period. I've had some people ask me, hey, I hear about stocks. Am I ready to invest in stocks? I say, it depends. What does your debt situation look like? Do you have any credit card debt? They say, oh yes, I have a couple $1,000s in credit card debt. And then I let them know that, hey, okay, your credit card is winning against you. 25% interest, 26% interest. It's somewhere around there, right? They are winning, you're losing, period, because they're making the interest money off of you. Um, how do you win in the interest game? Like I said, it's interest that you benefit from that pays you. So that is something like if you invest in bonds, if you invest in stocks, that's not necessarily interest. That's not interest. That's called capital appreciation. Fancy word for the value of the stock that you bought increased. Um, a lot of people make money like that, but it's very tricky, and that's for another video. But you see, the average for stocks, and this is a very generalized statement, S&P 500, 500 biggest companies in the U.S. by market capitalization. That is, you could get about 10% interest gains, right? Points for you, 10% interest. Which credit card do you have that only charges you 9% interest? Probably, if you're past the introduction rate, none of them, right? I remember one time I had a credit card that charged me 14% interest. And I had a very successful person that I know said, wow, that's actually a pretty good interest rate for a credit card. And at the time, I didn't really know much. I was younger, in my early 20s. So I was like, okay, but it went past, it went over my head. It's one of those things that someone told me who I really respect, but I didn't pay much attention to it. But later on in life, after I suffered job loss, shortly after that, actually, and my credit took a dive, it went from in the 700s to in the 500s. Um, this was in 2013. Then, when I'm rebuilding my credit a couple of years ago, and I get it up to, back up in the six somethings, right? And then, thank God further. But on the way up, I saw credit card offers, and now the interest rate's much higher. Now the interest rate's 20, 26%, so on and so forth. All that to say, um, credit cards have interest rates that hurt you, period. If you don't pay the full balance off every month, then you're losing. Even if you have that money in savings or whatever, they are stepping up off of you and making themselves better off and you worse off if you carry that balance. So that's why people warn against credit cards. It's because it is very hard to win the interest game when you have outstanding credit card debt. You know, I've been there. Something comes up, a car issue, medical bill, you name it, you know. So if you got to do what you got to do, you know, swipe that card. But in the meantime, be frugal and work your butt off to pay that debt off. And there's really a very limited amount of investing you could do when you have high interest debt out, such as a credit card. To win the interest game, as this video is about, you have to um, pretty much only invest in your 401k up to the match. That means that you get 100% return on the match. Your company says they'll match dollar for dollar up to 3%, and then if you put in 5%, they'll give you an extra percent to make it 4% for them, 5% for you. That you put in, then 4% that they put in. Once again, recap, a lot of companies will say things like, we'll give you 100% of the first 3% you put in, and then 50% of the next 2% you put in. So how much do you put in? Well, you put in 5%. The first 3% you're putting in, call it easy math, $3,000, right? Then they're giving you $3,000. Then you put in $2,000 and they're giving you $1,000. If you were to break down the rate of return on that, that's 100% return on the first 3,000 you put in, and then that's 50% return on the next 2,000 that you put in. So that's that. Even if you have all kinds of crazy credit card debt, you definitely want to contribute up to the match in your company because you win the interest game there. You get 100% interest and then you get 50% interest from the company match alone. And then what do you do with the rest of your money? You pay down that credit card debt. You pay down that personal loan. Um, that's what you do. The easiest way to win the debt interest game is called a debt snowball method. So you just focus on that little stored credit card that you got $150 on, and you knock it out. Then you have a little credit card that you barely use. You got $400 on there. Knock that out. You might have another credit card you have like $700 on. Knock that out. In the meantime, you know, only saving investing you're doing is investing to get the match that your company gives you, assuming that you are an average employee who works at a company who gets a 401k match. So just to kind of give a nice little short summary, how to win the interest game. Invest in your company's retirement plan up to the match. It'll be worth it. You're winning. 100% interest, 50% interest, depending on what they match, right? After that, you know what? Cut down your expenses. Be very careful about spending money because all your extra money is to go to pay off that credit card, that personal loan, so on and so forth. And pay it from the lowest balance up to the next highest. Don't make it too complicated with the interest rate because when you make it too complicated, you probably won't follow through. So get your company match, pay your credit cards from the lowest balance to the highest balance, and then stay out of debt. My name's EB. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm the founder of Smart with Money SWM Planning. Thank you. Bye.